Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Friday, December 27th, 2024. Now, yesterday there was a whole slew of filings. Many of them, in cases that we cover, had to do with Alex Spiro. He's been firing away for, I don't know, it feels like weeks about this amended complaint in one of the Sean Combs civil cases in which Jay-Z, his longtime client, Rock Nation, was named. And finally, there was no response by Judge Torres, the assigned judge, but he was asking for immediate hearings and condemning Busby as an opportunist and all this other stuff. Judge Torres finally ruled yesterday and said that this flurry of vindictive and she had some other choice adjectives. She's not going to give in to it. She's not going to require the plaintiff to list her name at this point in the litigation, and that it's not helping the client. Now, hopefully, we'll see whether Jay-Z himself sees this, because it's not helpful, as they said. In the Eric Adams matter, of course, the prosecution fired back and said this talking about leaking of grand jury information is ironic because, in fact, Adams or his legal team have been leaking, have themselves been quoting from discovery material in the various filings. So the battle is on, and they're duking it around. Bob Menendez, meanwhile, facing sentencing, yesterday filed and asked for a delay because he wants to be able to, number one, attend, without worrying about his sentencing, the trial of Nadine Menendez, set to begin January 21st. And also, then Nadine's lawyer wrote in and said it would be hugely prejudicial. The jury would, of course, hear about Bob getting sentenced, and this would prejudice them. So we'll see. There hasn't been a ruling yet by Judge Stein, but we're very much on the lookout for it, as we are now. Yesterday, the UN was has Antonio Guterres is away. No one has said where he is. But yesterday at 5 o'clock, they suddenly they called it a briefing. There were only two journalists in the room, but Stephanie Tremblay, filling in for Stefan Dujarric, also away, did a briefing, read out a statement about Yemen. We live streamed it because, again, I've covered Yemen for quite a long time. And when Saudis were bombing it, I was very much reporting on that. But in this case, the statement issued by Tremblay and Guterres was almost ghoulishly one-sided. For reporting that, somebody said, well, you should be kept out of the UN just for saying that. It's not a matter. You can hold two thoughts at once. You can hold thoughts at once. The Houthis have been firing missiles at ships. I guess all I can say is that you can't be surprised if you get bombed when you're firing bombs yourself. Now, they're going to do it today again at noon. Now, the U.S., the current administration, the outgoing administration, has been the president of the Security Council for this month. They didn't even announce anything about this, but there's going to be, I'm assuming, some discussion of that and of Syria, another basically failure all around on the UN. But they've decided to come forward, and they're going to have a guy called Julian Harkness talking about Yemen today at noon. So we're going to cover that, although we're not able to enter the UN and actually ask these questions because they're so corrupt. But that's something we aim as a litmus test to see if we get it reversed in 2025, as well as, of course, covering all these cases and publications. We should have more to announce on that soon. Working hard. Okay, Inner City Press, we're heading into the courts, and you'll be seeing the filings sooner than you know. To be continued.